Hello friends, my name is Sahil and welcome to the second part of the video on stock fundamental analysis of Endurance Technologies. In the first part, we discussed the company and the business of Endurance Technology, its competitive strength, future growth prospect and financials. In this video, we will discuss more about the future of the sector Endurance operates in and the growth prospect of Endurance Technologies. Finally, we will do the valuation analysis to decide if it is worth investing in the company or not. Alright, let's get started. As Endurance not only operate in India but supply its product all over the world, especially in European region, we need to consider both the global and Indian auto sector. Global passenger car sales experienced a significant drop in 2019 and 20 as it's operated in a challenging environment amidst trade war, lower economic growth, tougher emission regulation and COVID. In the graph, you can see that there is a fall in vehicle sale all over the world. The drop in passenger vehicle sales impacted global automobile sales, which declined to 91 million in 2019 from 95 million in 2018. The fall was partially responsible for the deceleration in world GDP and manufacturing growth. The decline in global auto sales was fueled by negative consumer sentiment, trade disruption and a slump in auto sales in China. However, auto sector is slowly picking up all over the globe and generating good demand for auto auxiliary companies. Indian automobile industry is the world's fourth largest automobile market in terms of sales and production and is a top employment generator in the country. In the past few years, growth in the industry has been supported by robust economic activity and large-scale infrastructure development, a growing middle-class population with increasing income and availability of financing options. The sector has benefited from factors such as availability of low-cost skilled labor, research and development, and a strong manufacturing supply chain. The automotive industry, including automobile and component manufacturing, is projected to reach a market size of 16 to 18 lakh crore by 2026. If you look at the domestic market share for FY 19-20, 81% is with two-wheelers, 13% is with passenger vehicles and 3% each with commercial and three-wheeler vehicles. According to the data released by Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers, the automobile industry produced a total of 26.3 million vehicles in FY 19-20, which is 14.73% lower than 30.9 million vehicles produced in FY 18-19. This fall was mostly driven by a negative economic outlook, lower availability of NBFC financing owing to the liquidity crisis, and a change in insurance safety and emission regulation. This was further impacted due to the pandemic striking major economies in the last quarter of FY 19-20. As a silver lining, the overall automobile exports registered a growth of 2.95% in FY 19-20. However, the government is taking many initiatives to boost the growth for the auto sector in India. Let us look at the key initiatives. First initiative is new emission standards. In order to improve the environmental footprint of the automobile industry and control the pollution level, government has implemented BS6 emission standard effective 1st April 2020. According to the Ministry of Environment, this transition is expected to reduce air pollution by 80 to 90%. All the major automakers have launched BS6 compliant models to adhere to this transition. This would put India at par with the world's top automaker in terms of emission standards. Next initiative is implementation of FAME 1 and 2 policy. The government has introduced the National Electric Mobility Mission Plan 2020 and the faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicle in India, that is FAME. This scheme is to encourage transition to electric and hybrid vehicle. The electric vehicle market in India is projected to grow by an annual rate of 36% between FY 18-19 and FY 25-26. Owing to the momentum gained after the implementation of FAME 2 that offer incentive to electric two-wheeler and three-wheeler and to the buses and four-wheeler. The government is looking to build a robust e-mobility ecosystem in the country covering the domestic vehicle and auto component manufacturer, charging infrastructure and other service providers. A list of 20 EV parts have been released by the government which will be indigenized under the phased manufacturing program. Further, the government is incentivizing EVs that have used a higher percentage of indigenized parts. India is increasingly becoming a preferred destination for auto component designing and manufacturing as more and more global OEMs are sourcing from India. The auto component industry has grown its export at a CAGR of 11% in the last 6 years. Notably, despite exporting to 160 countries, India's share in global automobile component export still stood at 3.5% or just $15.10 billion during FY 18-19, which indicates there is a huge scope for increasing the export all over the world. Endurance Technology is a leading automotive component manufacturer and the largest aluminium die casting manufacturer in India in terms of total output and capacity. Having started its operation as an aluminium die casting manufacturer in 1985, the company is today a Tier 1 supplier to India's 2, 3 and 4-wheeler OEMs. It is an established supplier of aluminium die casting and alloy wheels, suspension, transmission and braking system, providing end-to-end solution right from design to aftermarket services. Apart from creating a niche in India through its quality-driven critical automobile component, the company has expanded its operation in Europe through its overseas subsidiary in Italy and Germany. Now let us look at the key drivers that would fuel the growth of Endurance in the future. The first driver is manufacturing and R&D capability. The company has 27 strategically located manufacturing facilities with close proximity to OEMs across India and Europe. It is commissioning a new plant at Kolar in Karnataka. Company now has 17 manufacturing units spread across 5 states in India in Maharashtra, Gujarat, Uttarakhand, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. It has 10 manufacturing facilities in Europe, which include 7 in Italy and 3 in Germany. Second growth driver is new acquisition. In order to serve the two-wheeler market with technologically advanced component, Endurance has recently acquired controlling stake in companies having advanced technology in transmission and braking products. Its Italian subsidiary Endurance Overseas SRL acquired a controlling stake of 99% in Adler Spa and subsequently changed the name to Endurance Adler Spa. The Italian company is a leader in system solution for clutches, gears and friction plate with a niche in R&D, engineering service and product development for OEM customers in Europe. Acquisition of the stake shall give Endurance total access to Adler's technical know-how and intellectual property rights. The acquisition will also provide future growth opportunity for the domestic market in India and for export opportunity. Subsequently, Endurance Adler Spa acquired Grimica SRL, a company in Italy specializing in designing of braking system for motorcycle application. The transition involved the acquisition of G Grimica brand, the company's intellectual property right, patents and know-how for braking system for two-wheeler and three-wheeler. Third driver is growing customer base. Over the years, Endurance has added new customers both in India and in Europe. All the leading two-wheeler and three-wheeler manufacturers had been its customer, bearing a South Indian based OEM which has a significant share in the Indian market. During FY 19-20, the company has received its first order from this OEM, making a significant accomplishment. Today, it takes pride in being a key part of the supply chain of all major two-wheeler and three-wheeler OEMs in the country. Next driver is setting up of Vallam plant in Tamil Nadu. With significant quantum of orders received from renowned Korean four-wheeler OEM operating in the southern region of India, Endurance is expanding its manufacturing presence in Tamil Nadu. Company is setting up a plant at Vallam to manufacture machined aluminium casting. The plant has started production in January 2021. Next growth driver is backward integration. As a part of the backward integration project, Endurance is venturing into the aluminium forging business to make axle clamps and other forging required for production of inverted front forks aimed at replacing imported forgings. The company has signed a technical collaboration with a leading company in Italy for the project. Going forward, it will also offer its aluminum forged products to OEM, including the EVs and various other high-end applications. The forging facility in Aurangabad is expected to begin operation in April 2021. If we talk about the expansion plan, Endurance Technology is continuing its strategic channel expansion drive towards tier 2 and 3 cities and the rural market in India. In the overseas market, it is strengthening its distribution strategy to expand to new countries in Latin America, Southeast Asia and Africa, and also distributors in all the existing territories. As a major strategic step towards private branding, company plans to export component for international brand of two-wheeler that are popular in those countries. Company is gaining a foothold in the electric vehicle and hybrid vehicle space, which is potentially the future of mobility. In Europe, a significant part of the new orders are for parts that will go into the production of electric vehicle and hybrid vehicle. In the last 2 years, 110 million euro of European business has been received for electric and hybrid cars. This business is expected to reach its peak volume by FY 22-23. In India, the company supplied its component to an OEM which has launched its iconic scooter brand as electric vehicle. Further, Endurance Aluminium Forging project will also cater to the demand for aluminium forging from two-wheeler and four-wheeler and EVs. Overall, it looks like the future growth prospect of Endurance Technology is really bright. Endurance Technology had its IPO in October 2016 and it was listed at a price band of Rs 626. So it is only a 4-year-old company in the Indian Stock Exchange. It has a face value of Rs 10. Endurance is currently trading at level of around 1400 and a PE of 45. The median PE of Endurance is 36. Now the PE is looking on the higher side as compared to the median PE. But one of the reasons is due to the poor earning in the last 3 quarters due to COVID. In fact, the June quarter was in loss. So if we discount the earning fall due to COVID, the valuations are looking decent. I think Endurance is a stock that can be added periodically for long-term wealth creation. I have also included it in my list of top 10 mid-cap stocks. So this is my analysis on the future growth prospect of Endurance Technology and the sector it operates in, along with the valuation of the company. Please note that these videos are not sponsored. I genuinely pick the best of best stock for you. I give them a 9 or 10 rating because they deserve it. I can make a video on poor stock and give 3-4 rating, but I am sure it won't be of any help to you. I received a comment that I should also include the risk aspect during the stock fundamental analysis. So if you look at the risk aspect of Endurance, the biggest risk is slowdown in the auto sector. Over the last few years, auto sector has experienced slowdown that impacted the performance of all companies in auto sector. Next risk is COVID. If it continues to spread, it will impact the global economic activity and that can result in slowdown in consumption. Next risk is concentration risk, where you have over dependence on a few customers. So Endurance has managed it well by expanding in various geographies and across multiple customers. Final risk is competition. If there are more and more players that get into auto component, it can impact the performance of Endurance. Going forward, I would add this risk aspect in all my stock fundamental analysis video. I hope you will find this video useful. I will see you with another video. Till then, take care.